Hey guys, you here, aka Gene. Welcome to another GTA 5 contact racing. So we finally found a solution for contact racing. Now you see there at the start of this particular race, we did this for the first time, by the way. It's a simple rule that we sort of discussed as a crew that we must stick to in contact racing. So at the starting grid, before the first corner, quite simply, no one actually does the boost start. Everybody has to have the throttle down halfway and not fully down. So basically your R2 on your PS3 D-pad, right? You can't have that fully slammed down. You're going to sort of have it halfway, so everybody sort of starts at the same rate of speed and not just completely just floor it. So this way you sort of get a nice calm start, sort of like similar how you see in real life in F1 racing. If someone crashes, you get a safety car coming out and everyone's going at the same rate of speed, and once the safety car goes, and bang, the race starts. So basically GTA 5, we've got a similar rule that we just sort of did, sort of implemented last night actually, where you know, right after the first corner, that is where the race begins. So as soon as you pass the apex, that's when bang, you put your throttle down, the race begins. This way everyone is nicely sort of packed together, and you can sort of see who's going to actually make mistakes and this and that, and who's actually going to choke. And you know, obviously you can't completely prevent collisions. Obviously they're bound to happen over someone else's mistakes through, you know, people not reacting to a sort of a mistake the other person makes and then turns out to be a chain collision. But this is the best solution to avoid any sort of the first corner aids that we sort of traditionally get in GTA 5 races. And one of the main reasons why we personally stopped you know, doing contact racing is because of the first corner stupidity that we always had with drama that always occurs, controversy of people's perspectives, this and that, lag and bullshit. So because of people's bitching and annoyance and frustration, we did not want to do contact racing any further. So we obviously moved on to non-contact racing, which initially is just pretty much just hot lapping, right? So we turned out to be really, I mean, quite often, at first when we did non-contact racing, we're pretty shit. But because we've been doing it over the past few months, I personally feel that we are one of the best hot lapping crews out there. So we are quite aggressive racers. So recently we've been accused after the 4v4 crew battle of being quite aggressive, dirty racers and not knowing how to race properly. And I can understand why people would say that, but I completely disagree with that statement. I feel like we have an upper hand against contact racers who strictly do contact racing because we know how to attack in any situation, at any position that we have. Say I'm in a 9th position, I can catch up to the person in 1st position who actually just strictly does contact racing because I can know how to attack in any situation. The thing is, when a lot of people say, you know, it all comes down to practice when it comes to hot lapping, that is not true. It is not true at all. If you give me a track right now for our crew to do, within the first 10 laps we'll set insane lap times, which is pretty damn difficult to break, because the thing is, we know our braking point for every single corner, for every single road on this game. All right, the thing is, that's the difference. All right, you don't need to have a track to know how to take a corner. You can simply free roam, you simply understand how the car works. And by the way, I think I nudged someone who actually went wide, and then obviously karma got me, so I got fucked up by someone else's mistake. So that shit like that will happen, but that's something not to complain about. You should expect the shit like that. So that's why I love contact racing. Now, I personally love contact racing, but I only love doing it with people who actually know how to do it, I suppose. And yes, you will obviously make mistakes yourself. That's the best thing about it. You learn from it. So at this very moment, you see, by the way, this is all from one race, and we've also recently made a new rule set that we're going to be doing 8-track playlists instead of 16-track playlists, competitive contact racing, where each track is going to be 5 laps or more, so everybody's got a fair share of attacking for the podium positioning. I did 2 awesome overtakes there, but it was quite straightforward because both of them made mistakes. But this is by far what's coming up right now, my favorite overtake. Alright, this is the beauty of contact racing on GTA 5, and this is something that I missed for a very long time, right? To have a very clean overtake, but also anticipating the situation as well, is the greatest feeling ever. So you see here, Quaper's on the inside line, he's got more speed against me. I'm gonna brake, he's got to carry the momentum. He reacted late towards the apex, so I'm gonna cut in. I cut in, obviously overtook him, and obviously this is the final lap, the final section of the track. All I have to do now is defend against him in the final few corners. Voila, I take the 3rd position for the podium position after a very, very messy start to the race due to my mistakes that I've made, not to anyone else's mistakes, but my mistakes. Obviously a few collisions there and then through chain of reactions, which I personally should have reacted to, which I'll put the blame to myself. But this is the beauty of contact racing, and this rule will work for any track, and it's absolutely awesome. It's quite simply, this rule is like it completely cancels out any sort of chain collisions for a start of a race. And by the way, this is another example of a race which is pretty damn awesome. This completely disregard the guy in the cheater, by the way, because he was a completely random person that just randomly joined the lobby that did not know the rules. So that's one of the reasons why he fucked up. So fuck him. So you can see everyone's going really, really slow. But right after the first corner, bang, this is where the race starts. You see here, everyone is nicely packed together. There was no collision whatsoever, completely disregarding the person with the cheetah because he's not part of this. I made a dumb mistake because I was like, wow, I was gobsmacked because I was admiring the beauty of this pack. You know, sometimes you don't get this quite often in GTA 5, so you gotta take a moment out and say, whoa, this is nice. You know, this is how racing should be. So this rule will work only with your friends and your crew. It obviously will not work in the public lobby. And bang, now people will start to make mistakes and shit. And this is bound to happen. People don't pay attention and people lack concentration. But that is the beauty of contact racing. You gotta expect that. And this is something as part of racing. Now is where our crew's ability comes into play when it comes to hot lapping, because in this position that we're in right now, if I was just strictly doing contact racing, I would not know how to attack. It's that simple, because the thing is, we know how to take risks. We are pretty much going to push every single corner. All right, so at this very point, managed to catch up to the person in second position, but it's still quite a bit of distance to the guy in the front. But I was also defending against two other guys, Quaper and Picano, but because I broke early and they didn't react to it, they obviously collided with me at the back. But that's part of racing, and that is where the difference is between us and other normal races, because we are way too aggressive. But that is fine. Obviously, we haven't done contact racing in a very long time, so we're going to learn from that and to be more patient. And I admit that we're way too aggressive, but that doesn't mean that we don't know how to race, because we know how to race. It's just that we would like to do it, people that actually know how to do it as well, I suppose. So we're all learning together. We all sort of set this rule basically for every single start of the race. So right after the first corner is where basically the race begins. But yeah, see here, caught up to the guy at the front. And this particular racer, going to do another awesome overtake, I suppose. And once again, bring him my defensive strives as well to defend against him. And it's also to test people's reactions. Because here's the thing, right? If I was to brake at an unordinary braking point around a particular corner, I expect the person behind me to react to that and to pay attention to my car. That is the only way to see if they are good at reacting to a situation, actually good at racing properly. Because one thing that I will always do, if I'm behind someone, I will always want to pay attention, be on my toes when it comes to my braking, because it doesn't matter at what situation I'm in or what position or what lap it is, you'll always have to prioritize the car in front of you and respect the drivers next to you. And that's something that does take time to do, because a lot of people do panic in these situations. The second to last lap right now, and I pretty much caught up to him. So all I have to do is ease off the throttle here, because I don't want to go too close to him. He's approaching the corner, so why would I? He goes wide, and obviously quite often when people have pressure applied to them, when they know there's someone behind you, the chances are they will go wide 90% of the time. And that's something you got to take into consideration. A good defender would always take the inside line, but even a good defender can make mistakes because there's so much pressure applied from the person behind. So what I do here, take the inside line to defend. I got obviously taken out, so props to him for waiting for me, because by the way, obviously contact racing, you have to wait if you collide with someone with a mega collision. So if you completely get them off course, you have to stop. Right after that, I pretty much kept it consistent, and they could not keep up. Because here's the thing, right, with hot lappers, if we're at the front of the race, it's going to be difficult to keep up with us, because we pretty much know every single point to push, and basically attacking is one way of defending, I guess, if you're at the front. But that's just what we say as races of hot lappers. But definitely, if you want to be part of the crew and race with us, come and join the live streaming right now, and see if you can keep up. And hopefully you guys try this rule out yourself with your friends and crews. Perfect solution for our crew personally. So this is something that we're going to carry on doing. And let me know what you guys think of this as well in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys soon. Check your sign out. Good night. Peace. Yeah. Oh, be sure to check out Common Isaiah vs The Banshee if you're interested in that, to find out which one's better amongst those two. For different factors, annotation screen will take you straight to the video. I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching. Homicide.